Right. Earlier in the program, Leslie had said that the problem with California was that the state hadn't been locked down enough. It's sort of reminiscent of what you hear, communists say that when pointed out that communism always fails.
No, that's not what I said, Molly. That's not what I said. What I said, the people aren't following the orders.
Right, they haven't been locked down enough. If in fact lockdowns work,
that's not what I said. I said they're not wearing the mask, social distancing, they're not gathering.
Yes. If in fact lockdowns worked, California would be the healthiest state in the nation. They're not, and it's because these rules that the governments have imposed are having no bearing on the spread of the virus. And as people see that the lockdowns accomplish nothing in terms of public health, but they accomplish complete destruction of the economy and family businesses, I think you'll be seeing more and more people resisting against these government orders. Frederick Boston said that for laws to be followed, they must be reasonable. We have not had reasonable laws throughout this year in this country.
That's right.
And it's not healthy for the country to not have reasonable laws. You will see more resistance, and that's not good for everybody.
Okay, but let's just remind viewers that California is not on total lockdown. It's actually a limited stay-at-home order. And under this limited stay-at-home order, it means that schools currently open can remain open. Retailers can operate indoors at no more than 20% capacity to reduce exposure risk. And that is the case in California. Governor Newsom, in fact, extended those limited stay-at-home orders this week. But
that's because they're firing him.
Enough. I mean, the orders are in place, but as Leslie mentioned, people are not adhering to them.
Well, one of the reasons that some Americans aren't adhering to these lockdown orders is in what you just said, Julie. Shopping centers across California, the state of California, including these massive malls, have remained open. They have to operate at, you said, at reduced capacity. But why is that any safer than sitting down for a meal at a small restaurant in your hometown?
Yeah.
Doesn't really make any sense. A quick
Nope.
word on the politicians who are flouting the laws. The real problem here is not just hypocrisy, because I think a lot of us have come to really expect that from politicians on both sides of the aisle. The real problem with people flouting their own lockdown policies is that it shows how unworkable they are. To Molly's point of a moment ago, it really, when they break these rules, it says to every other American, they're not workable. We can't even abide by them. So
Which is
can't
why
really ask others to do so.
And which is why then, elected officials then have to go to total lockdown mandate and threaten to punish those who do not adhere, and then they get criticized for that. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
All right, everybody stand by. To my next topic, one of my favorites, in fact, of the week, Hilaria Baldwin. She is addressing claims she faked her Spanish heritage, who she says is really responsible for the mix-up. She's blaming others, not herself.
All this Americans out of control.
For veteran families, when it comes to
it's time for us
buying your dream home
to wake up. Okay, so let me tell you what's going to happen. And I'm going to play some more videos on I have the bold-faced truth. The reason why they're shutting down all the businesses is because the corporations, as we know, our country is not a country, it's a corporation. The corporations are going to run everything, and I mean everything. There's not one American that's going to be the owner of a store or a restaurant. They are doing some horrible, horrible things behind the scenes right now. They are also testing us to see if we are going to obey. The rule of law was by 2020, everybody was to obey, and everybody is obeying, and that's the worst thing that could be happening right now. Not enough Americans are standing up. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to stop for a moment. I'll be back.